Hello everyone, Sunton welcome to another mod overview, this time on Little Utilities. This is a mod that adds in certain recipes for vanilla specific items like saddles, horse armor, name tags, meat, rotten flesh and more, as well as a bunch of utility specific blocks as you can see here. So a few decoration ones, as well as a few others that have other uses that are quite convenient. So we'll go through the vanilla specific recipes first, but we'll check that on the wiki because it'll make things easier. So for a saddle, it is just iron ingots and leather, as well as obviously using ingots and diamonds like so. And you can see here, obviously the same. You've got ones for glass, so if you just want to use one glass block or one pane and then a die, you can. You don't have to surround it if you don't want to. So if you don't want to surround glass and then bone meal to get white stained glass, you can use one die and one glass. Obviously it'll cost a lot more dies, but it'll make things easier if you don't want to go, okay, I've got not enough glass to then convert it to 8. You can just do 1 for 1. It'll make things much easier. And you can convert it back, it seems, I think. No, it's just shapeless, that's all. And you can do the same for panes, not just for blocks, as you can see there. So there's that. Otherwise, there is a food-related one, which allows you to use a fermented spider eye and any type of raw or cooked meat to then make rotten flesh with it. So if you're unable to get any rotten flesh, or there's food you don't want to use, you can convert it to rotten flesh. And finally, there's additional recipes for things such as blaze rods from blaze powder, bone meal back to bones, making gravel from cobble and flint, a lead and paper to make name tags, blaze powder and sticks to make torches, cobwebs, putting vines on mossy, to create mossy versions from cobble, walls, blocks and otherwise, fermented spider eye using the red mushroom instead of the brown one, and then converting prismarine shards back, vines with grass and slime balls, netherwort can be converted back from the netherwort block, clay, glowstone, so a few conversion recipes as you can see there. Now, we'll move on to the other features the mod adds, besides just recipes. So, go from left to right. First up is the sponge, which if you do have a sponge on you, you can obviously convert it to 9, or if you don't have one and you just want to, or make a few, then you have access to it from string and dandelion yellow. Now what you'll simply want to do with sponge is use this on things like stained clay and glass. So for example, terracotta I should say. So we just do this, say with these, you can just remove the dye off them, no problem. We'll just try a different terracotta color. There you go, so it's much easier to see. I always check the wiki for any additional information that I might have missed, but I'm pretty sure that is the gist of it. Yes. So there's that. There's also an events page for certain other additional info as well. Hitting a mob with a blaze rod. Dyeing blocks, I assume you can also do. If we get, say, purple, then we get a blank terracotta block. We can do that, I guess. If I can find it. Yep, so you can dye them besides just removing it. Lava blocks and other such things. We'll get to those later, but anyway. So there's sponge. There is pure quartz, which doesn't currently have a recipe that I can access, since I don't have a mod that has silicon like, say, Enderire or certain others, for example. But I can obviously demonstrate on the wiki and otherwise. If you do have one, you can use sand to get pure quartz, and you can use the pure quartz as if it were silicon, say for a wrench or other things. But At least for now, I can't find... Unless for some reason it just doesn't show it for me, which that could be the case. We'll try smelting some sand in a furnace. It might be that it just doesn't show the actual recipe, instead of it being that it has to activate with a other. I guess it's just going to do glass, most likely. But we'll see. So glass, yeah, seems to be that way. So there's that. Unless you have like another machine that sort of can do this. But yeah. And I don't think you can condense it, which we'll cover soon. Which will get sand, and I'm pretty sure this, yeah, just gives you sandstone. So yeah, you need another mod that most likely gives you silicon, and gives you a purpose for it. But other than that, you can also find it in dungeons, jungle temples, and abandoned mine shafts if you're unable to smelt it. I'm not too sure on the wrench though, as that doesn't really exist in this mod, I think. This is the pure quartz, and that's it. So yeah, which we'll get to soon. There is leather scraps, which you can use for making leather, and you can get access to this simply via putting in things such as rotten flesh or the compressed block into a furnace, I believe. Or you can have it drop from mobs as well. And you can configure a few things in the configs as well. We'll just get looting and see if we can get it to drop, as it doesn't give a message like the pure quartz, of course, saying that it can't do anything. So we'll just get a sword and we'll get, say, a pig or something, for example. Or was there others that harvest? Polar bears give you more. We'll just go with the pig for now. So we'll see what we get with our chances. Okay, so not too bad. Maybe they are more common than I think, so 6 there. So probably fairly common, I guess, than I would have expected. So there's that. So if you don't have access to leather, then you can via scraps from other mobs. Besides, actually no, there's no dungeon presence for that one. Don't know why I thought that, but yeah, you can use leather or access leather from scraps rather than via cows or other means. Next, we have the zombie curing kit, which is made like so, and I think this is supposed to be a reusable item. And you can use, I think, any potion, or it's just orientation of where you place them, seems likely. So get a zombie villager, which I can't remember if you can spawn them via an egg this way. Obviously, we're in normal? That's strange. Might have mob preventing, that's why I do. Okay, so we want to disable that, I guess, for now. We'll disable that. There we go. And if we right click there, it instantaneously does. You don't have to wait around after giving them a weakness potion and an apple. They'll just instantly be converted. So we'll do that again, and you can see they're now converted again. Do this in survival and see if it is a item that is consumed, which it is. So yeah, you're pretty much needing more gold than the typical golden apple, and obviously more weakness potions. You can't just use it as a item that can be used for multiple villages. You can also find these in many structures as well, besides crafting. So if you have the lucky to find one, then yeah,